Have you seen your own listing? I'm going to talk about that and the latest home prices and insights for York Region for week ending January the 4th, 2023. So I'm asking, have you seen your listing? Naturally, this is going out to the people that are selling right now. Look, I see every listing that comes out there. Many of them are beautiful, professional, promoted really, really well. But there's a whole bunch. I got to ask myself, has the seller actually taken the time to read their own listing, to look at the photos, read the listing, check the spelling, because it's clear the realtor didn't do that, and it was just kind of put together, unprofessional. And I got to ask, is the seller looking at how their home is being marketed? Two things happen when you go on the market. First of all, let me say, if you're thinking of going onto the market and selling your home, don't be naive to think people are only going to be looking at my home. People, meaning buyers, they're looking at your home and anything in competition with your home. And these days, there's properties that are on the market. You're probably not the only game in town. There's other properties to compare to your home. So, two things happen when you come on the market. You are either pushing buyers to put offers on other properties, so you're making the other properties look good, or the other properties are helping you sell your home. So strategically speaking, it's so important to organize your listing and all the different aspects to that listing in a way that has your home standing out amongst the competition. We're not seeing that with some of the listings, and I'm not necessarily talking about entry-level homes. Some of these are $4 and $5 million homes, and you got to ask, does the seller even read, did they even look at their own listing? The last thing I'm going to say on this, my attitude is, if you're a seller, you should love your listing. If you love your listing, there's a good chance a buyer's going to love it too. Who you hire matters. If you think this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. Let's get into the numbers. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Below this video in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you. This way, I'll know ahead of time and I'll make sure my schedule's organized so we can talk about whatever's on your mind. So, what does it take to get to 2018 prices, 2019 prices? I know there's lots of people, lots of buyers kind of on the sideline expecting prices to come down much further than where they are right now. Well, let's have a look. What I have here, this is just for York Region, detached properties only, broken down by month. The last full month is December. So here's December 2022. Highlighted in black is each December going back all the way to 2018. Now, we are currently, the average sold price for detached properties across York Region for December 2022 is $1,645. But if we kind of look at round numbers, we look at our peak, I've put here 1.9, and in this pocket over here, we're somewhere around 1.6 million. We're already down during the course of 2022 from the peak to where we kind of ended the year. We're down 21%. When we compare December this year to December last year, where our price is actually down about 10% from where we were December to December a year ago. And some buyers have been okay with that, and they've jumped in and they've bought or are in the home buying process right now. And there's other buyers on the sideline thinking it's either not enough of a reduction, or I still can't afford it, I need prices to come down, or they're just expecting prices to come down. And so Why buy now when in their mind they feel prices are coming down? Well, let me tell you what it's going to take. If you want to buy at 2020 price where we are now has to come down another 17.8%. If you want to buy at 2019 prices, our current price of $1,645,000, that average has to come down another 30% to get to, well, it's got to come down almost 31%. And to get to 2018 prices, our current average sold price has to come down almost 33% from where it is now. Is that possible? I can't tell you yes or no with certainty. Nobody can. Well, but that's what's got to happen. You decide if that makes sense for you. Let's look at months of inventory. So here we have December last year, December 2021. Months of inventory has been going up and average prices have been coming down. Months of inventory stabled off, prices stabled off. That's how I say normal because we got so many crazy things going on these days. That's how a normal market behaves. We're sitting right now at 2.9 months of inventory. Average sold price again is $1,645,000. We're going to get into our regular program now. We have Vaughan for detached properties broken down by week for a whole year. So week ending January the 4th. Now I'm going to say this once, but it's valid for all these charts. Last week of December, first week of January, sales are typically extremely low. It's the holiday season. Some of these numbers, I got to say, don't make a lot of sense sometimes, or they're very skewed because of such low sales. I don't want to ignore them. I'm still putting them on, but just be careful of what you take extremely serious with some of these numbers. So 7 detached properties were sold. One of those was at $2 million or more. In fact, that one that was over $2 million sold for $5.4 million. This is why I feel I have to highlight that for you, because the average sold price went up a bit, sitting at $1,965,000. $1,965,000 is 7% lower than last year's average sold price. The median price of $1,260,000 is 40% lower than last year's average, last year's median price. There was only 7 sales, so the median price is way off from what it was previously. Of the 7 that sold, none sold at list price or more. This time last year, 50%, half of them sold at list price or more, but last year there was only 12 that sold. Looking at listings, 18 detached properties were listed for week ending January the 4th, 2023. Active listings is 155. Now, what do I mean by active listings? If during this week of January the 4th, a property gets listed and then sold right away within the same week ending, at midnight on January the 4th, it's no longer an active listings. What I mean is, midnight January the 4th, when the week ends, how many properties are actually available for sale? That's what active listings is. Well, January 4th, active listings available for sale is 155. This time a year ago, active listings was 71. So we have right now 2.2 times more active listings. So sales are a bit lower and we have more properties available for sale. How do you think that affects price? Well, more inventory, less sales. It's either going to stay stable or come down a little bit. Months of inventory based on 7 sales is sitting at 5.1 months of inventory. Here's Richmond Hill. So Richmond Hill, 4 detached properties were sold. Half of those, 2 of them sold at $2 million or more. Average sold price as a result of half the property selling at $2 million bucks. Average sold price is sitting at $2,354,000. 2354 is 24% higher than last year's average sold price. Median price is also way up at 16% higher than last year's median price. Of the 4 that sold, 25% sold at list price or more. So here's where you kind of got to look at the numbers. 25%, that's not so bad. Well, 25% is basically one. One out of those 4 sold at list price or more. We have 90 active listings in Richmond Hill for January the 4th, and months of inventory sitting at 5.2 months of inventory. Now the average days on market of those 4 that sold is 67. So a lot of these properties had been sitting on the market for a while. They chose to sell. Here's Markham. Only 3 detached properties were sold in Markham. One of those was at $2 million or more. Average sold price, just like Vaughan and Richmond Hill, way up, $1,881,000. But that's still 24% lower than where the average sold price was this time last year. Median price of $1,060,000 is $1,680,000, sorry, is 12% lower than last year's median price. And of the 3, a third, 33% sold at list price or more. Active listings for week ending January the 4th is 126, and months of inventory based on only 3 sales has shot months of inventory way up to 9.7. We all know that as soon as we get into the next 1 or 2 weeks, this is going to come right down, and it should stabilize to where it was before we went into the holiday season. Condos. Now this is for all of York region. These are condo apartments only. 8 condos were sold. Excuse me. None of those were at $1 million or more. Average sold price is $680,000. $680,000 is 13% lower than where the average sold price was a year ago. Median price of $655,000 is 18% lower than where the median price was a year ago. Of the 8 that sold, 13% sold at list price or more. And you're thinking, well, 13%, that's not so bad. It's low, but not so bad. But that's just one. One of those 8 sold at list price or more. And active listings for week ending January the 4th is 317. So I'm going to go back 1 slide. 8 were sold the previous week, 12 were sold the week before that, 23. And so if we look at December, we're selling 28, 25, 23. So it's not that many sales. But we have 317 available. So there's lots of inventory sitting out there based on the volume that we're buying right now. 12 months ago, this time last year, we had 77 active condo listings on the market for the same week ending. Well, this year we have 4.1 times more. So it's a lot of condos based on what we are normally accustomed to. And months of inventory based on the low sales is sitting at 9.1 months of inventory. Here's a quick summary. Months of inventory are way up there, but they're based on very abnormally low sales, which is typical this time of year. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.